All right. Are you all able to hear me?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right.
Good afternoon.
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes.
All right. This is the state expedited accusations calendar in the state court of Fulton County, Georgia. I am Judge Melanie Williams. This calendar is for those individuals who have been recently arrested, but the cases have already been formally accused and bound over to state court. All defendants, you have an absolute right to remain silent. Anything you say regarding the facts of the case can and will be used against you. You also have a right to an attorney. These are the constitutional rights that I wanted to make you aware of today. All participants, including defendants, this particular proceeding is being broadcast over the internet as a live stream. It is also being recorded. That means that any member of the public can log on and watch this particular proceeding. Are there any announcements from either the state or defense before we get started? Has everyone had the opportunity to speak with their clients?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, and any breakouts?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, any breakouts requested?
Nothing, Your Honor, from here.
All right, thank you. Those who receive a surety or a cash bond today will be reset to the SAP calendar on July the 26th of 2022 at 9 a.m. as Ms. Middlebrooks has so kindly put into the chat. All right, who do I have first?
Good afternoon, Judge. This is position 3, Mr. Gant, and he also has his wife in the gallery.
All right, thank you. Good afternoon, Mr. Gant. Your case number is 22 CR 00450 in which you're charged with 1 count of battery family violence with the offense date of May the 22nd of 2022. Do you understand the rights I just explained?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Who do I have from pretrial today? Is there anyone here from pretrial services? Okay. All right, Mrs. Segura, it's good to see you. We'll go straight to you. And for now, we'll defer to the state for the history.
Good afternoon. This occurred back in May the 22nd, 2022, in which officers responding to a dispute call at 1612 Ezra Church Drive, Northwest Atlanta. In this case, they spoke with the victim, Ms. Jennifer Coney. Jennifer spelled Jenniffer, Coney, Coney. And when she told the police that her husband, the defendant, was punching her in the face. The way she advised police was that they were originally in a vehicle in which a verbal dispute took place, in which the defendant confronted Ms. Coney about she messing around with other females. Ms. Coney responded to the defendant that she was not gay and she has not been messing around with other women. At that point, the defendant started to hit her in the face, but they were inside the vehicle. Later, when Ms. Coney arrived at the residence, she went inside the house, in which the defendant followed her inside the home in the living room. At that point, the defendant got on top of her while she was sitting on the couch and started to punch her continuously in her face. And she also advised police that the defendant told her that if she dares call the police, he was going to kill her. When police arrived, they saw that Ms. Coney had a swollen face, and underneath her eyes was also bruised. At that point, the defendant left before he could be apprehended. And because of this, the state is recommending a $5,000 surety bond, 1-day anger awareness, no alcohol, drugs, and weapons, a stay away from 1612 Ezra Church Drive, Northwest Atlanta, and no further contact with Jennifer Coney. Foundations are based on these facts, but we also are concerned about intimidating the witness to Ms. Coney, as they are married and they do live together. But based on the facts, we are concerned about the defense history. I have 13 cycles, some dating from one of the early ones, 1992, with a guilty simple battery. But we have concerns about some of his cases in the 2000s. In 2005, he was arrested for possession of a firearm by convicted felon. This shows that despite being a convicted felon, he has no qualms about having a firearm, and concerning that he told Ms. Coney that he was going to kill her. We have some safety concerns about it. Alongside, in 2012, he has a guilty aggravated assault with a deadly weapon, in which he served 3 years. and he also had an FTA from that time too.
I'm sorry,
And
it was an aggravated assault in 2012?
yeah, 2012.
Okay, and so in the past, give me the past 5 years, Mrs. Segura, if you don't mind.
And let me find those cases quickly.
Is pretrial on the line yet? Anybody from pretrial?
Your Honor, if I could be of some assistance.
Yes, Ms. Falk.
The last conviction was 12 SC 114840. The defendant on that case was convicted of several counts of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon, possession of a firearm by a convicted felon, possession of a firearm during commission of a felony, and criminal damage to property in the first degree. It appears that his sentence was 8 years with 3 years to serve.
Okay. Thank you so much. All right, Mrs. Segura, do you have anything further?
Just have safety concerns about to Ms. Coney, as the defendant shown, does have a violent past, and he will make threats against Ms. Coney, and concerning of his violent past, we are concerned about her safety because of that. Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. All right, Mr. Coleman, is this your client?
It is, Your Honor. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. It's good to see you, Mr. Coleman. What is your recommendation?
Your Honor, I'd be requesting a signature bond from Mr. Gant. He is a lifetime resident of Atlanta, Fulton County. He does have his GED. He is 50 years of age, currently employed at Superior Traffic Services. I was able to hear some of his background. I believe the last arrest was back in 2012, if I'm not mistaken. I may have misheard. I also believe that the alleged victim in this case is present in court and would like to speak on Mr. Gant's behalf. We will be requesting a signature bond.
All right, at this time, I'm going to hear from Ms. Coney very briefly. Ms. Coney, I understand you're present in the courtroom. If you would like to make a statement, is it possible for her to come forward? And can she hear me now?
Yes, Judge, I'm gonna pull her out of the gallery so she can speak.
Okay.
Hold on 1 second. Okay.
All right, Ms. Coney, what the court is most concerned with is whether you wish to have contact with the defendant.
We feel together. It's fine.
No, before you start speaking, please raise your right hand. Do you swear and affirm the testimony you give today will be the truth to the best of your knowledge and under the penalty of perjury?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, what would you like to tell the court at this time?
Yeah, we both were drinking. I did grab him and tore his shirt off him. He was trying to get me off him. I was really mad because he left me at his mom's house and I had to get a ride home. We both were intoxicated. We had been drinking that day and I was just really mad. So at the end of the day, he's the only one working in his house. This man the one pay these bills. I'm not working right now. I can't afford for him to leave this house and not be able to pay these bills. We own the house, true enough, but he still is the one working and paying off.
All right, thank you. I appreciate that. All right, Ms. Gant. I'm sorry, Ms. Coney. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Mr. Howard, I saw that you said the last arrest was 2020. What was that last arrest?
Possession of cocaine, possession of a firearm by a convicted felon, and simple battery. They were dismissed. The 2012 is the ag assault that they were talking about, all those convictions.
All right. All right, at this time, I am going to accept the state's recommendation. He's going to receive a $5,000 surety bond. He is to have no further contact for the time being with Ms. Coney and stay away from that address on Ezra Church. He can return one time with a member of law enforcement to get any items that he may need to get. He is to have no weapons, drugs, or alcohol as a condition of that surety bond. He will be reset to the SAP calendar on the 26th of July, whereby contact and the amount of this bond can be revisited at that time. All right, Mr. Gant, that will conclude your case. Best of luck to you. Who do we have next?
Position 5.
Position number 7.
Oh, I'm
Position
sorry.
number 7, you put on 3, please.
Go ahead, Sarge. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Thank you.
We'll go to position 7 and Ms. Lakeisha Oliver. Ms. Oliver, I understand you probably have not heard your rights. You have an absolute right to remain silent. Anything you say regarding the facts of your case can and will be used against you. You also have a right to an attorney at this proceeding today. Your case is 22 CR 0054506J, and what you're charged with one count of theft by taking with the offense date of February the 17th of 2022. Do you understand those rights that I just explained to you?
Say it now, I'm sorry. Yes, ma'am.
All right, and I also need to make you aware that this is broadcast and live streamed over the internet. It is also being recorded. Mr. Howard, can I have her history, please?
It's a fifth arrest. Last arrest was was a week ago for theft by taking in DeKalb County. Before that was a 2013 probation, 2012 probation for suspended license. That's it.
Okay.
I sent you the recommendation to your email. This
I did
SOB
not
jail.
receive. Is she recommended?
It's SOB jail.
Okay. Thank you so much. All right, Ms. Mitchell.
Yes, Your Honor. In this case, on January 31st, the defendant of this year, the defendant who was an employee at Wendy's at the time, located at 3041 Headland Drive Southwest, Atlanta, Georgia, was seen taking $520 from the safe, wrapped it in paper, and then put it back at the bottom of the safe. And then on February 3rd, she came back while at work, took the $520 cash out, and placed it in an unsecured cabinet above the safe. Hours later, she came back and took the $520 from the unsecured cabinet and put her drop. The incident was reported by the district manager, Mr. Derwin Roy, and the entire incident is caught on video. Your Honor, there's a current bond of $2,500 surety, and the state requests that that be reduced to a $2,000 surety with a stay away from the incident location and no alcohol, drugs, and weapons. We do have concerns, risk of reoffending. She does have the current open theft by taking case as heard from pre-trial. We hear that she is recommended for pre-trial, but I read the pre-trial report and it doesn't appear that it took into consideration her current open case with theft by taking. As it states her last, in the report, it states her last arrest was in 2013 and that she had no open cases pending. So taking into consideration the open case she does have for the exact same crime, we are recommending the $2,000 surety bond. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Mitchell. Good to see you as always. Who, is it your case, Ms. Kim?
Yes, Your Honor. Ms. Oliver is 35 years old and current open case, she's presumed to be innocent. And we would like to request for signature on bond by jail as pretrial services recommended. She's been here for all her life, 35 years. She has 4 children, 16, 15, 13, and 6 years old. And she's a single mother who takes care of 4 children. And she has employment at another grocery store. She's been working there for 5 months and she graduated from high school and she does not have any other issues. We would like to request for signature on bond. Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, at this time, Ms. Oliver is going to receive a $5,000 signature bond through the jail. She must absolutely stay away from that Wendy's on Headland Drive. And I believe she has to have no weapons, drugs, or alcohol or further violations of Georgia law as a condition of this bond.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right.
Sorry, Judge. I'm sorry, Judge. The internet is unstable in courtroom 3, so she didn't hear anything you said.
All right. She's received a $5,000 signature bond through the jail. She is not to go back to that Wendy's under any circumstances. Don't even walk by it. And she is to have no weapons, drugs, or alcohol as a condition of that signature bond. And she must have no further violations of Georgia law. All right, best of luck to you, Miss Oliver. Who do we have next?
Position 5, Hutchison.
All right. Good afternoon, Mr. Hutchison. Your case is 22 CR 4505C, in which you're charged with violating a family violence protective order with the offense date of July the 12th. Do you understand your constitutional rights?
Yes.
All right, Mr. Howard.
37 total. 2019 simple battery and shoplifting. Was the last arrest. 2014 probation, theft by taking. 2013 probation, theft by taking. 2011 parole violation. Trespass, possession of tools for the commission of a crime, shoplifting. Those were convictions from 2009. He also has history out of South Carolina too. I don't see any violence in the last 10 years. I see an ag assault from the 90s. As far as South Carolina, last arrest there was in the 90s as well.
All right, thank you. That's sufficient. Thank you, Ms. Howard. Mrs. Segura?
This occurred yesterday, July the 12th, 2022, and which also responded to a call at the incident location of 3498 Creighton, spelled Creighton Road, Atlanta, in which they spoke with a colonel named Nathaniel Lovett. Nathaniel, common spelling, Lovett, spelled L-O-V-E-T-T, who stated that the defendant violated his mother-in-law's court order, Miss Barbara Hutchinson. Barbara, common spelling, Hutchinson, Hutchinson, who had an active restraining order against the defendant, who is her son, which was signed back in June 29th, 2022, which had the order for the defendant to remain more than 200 yards away from that location. At this instance, the defendant was in the location in which a photograph was also taken of him being at the location. When police arrived, the defendant was arrested. The state is recommending a $5,000 surety bond, narco, drugs, and weapons, a stay away from the 3498 Creighton Road, Atlanta location, and no further contact with Barbara Hutchinson. The state has major concerns in this case because we are concerned about the victim, Ms. Barbara Hutchinson, who is 90 years old, and we have concerns about her being taken advantage of financially. We attempted to talk to Ms. Hutchinson earlier today, but due to some clarity issues, we had her daughter, Ms. Wandra Lovett, spelled W-A-N-D-R-A, Lovett, stated that the defendant has been mentally abusive to their mother, who again is 90 years old, and she has been trying to evict the defendant from the home in which they got a TPO. Again, this TPO was back on June 29th, so in about 2 weeks, he already broke that. And alongside, Ms. Lovett also stated that the defendant refused to leave and has continued to show up at the property despite this TPO. We have major concerns that the defendant has a risk of reoffending. As pretrial has noted, that he does have probation violation from 2007, 2008, the parole violation 2011, again, the probation violations in 2013 and 2014. This clearly shows that he has no intention of following court orders and will not do so in the future. And again, we are deeply concerned about Ms. Hutchinson, as again, she is 90 years old, and we know that the defendant will show up again. Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. I'm going to hear from Ms. Hutchinson's daughter momentarily, but I'll go to Mr. Coleman first.
Your Honor, I will be requesting a signature bond from Mr. Hutchinson. He is 65 years of age, a lifelong resident of Atlanta, Fulton County. He is a high school graduate. He is currently not working as he is disabled and collecting Social Security. He states to me that his mother is unaware of this protective order. It looks like his last arrest was some 3 years ago. I believe that pretrial stated there's been no violence in his history in the last 10 years. I will be requesting a signature bond on his behalf.
All right, Mr. Segura, I don't believe I got your full recommendation. What was the state's recommendation?
$5,000 surety bond, no alcohol, drugs, and weapons while out on bond, a stay away from that incident location, no further contact with Barbara Hutchinson, and a one-time police escort to retrieve any belongings, if any, at that incident location.
All right, Ms. Lovett, if you're here and would like to make a statement, I will hear from you briefly, but you will have to turn on your camera so we can identify you. I'm only allowing it in light of the age of your mother, because typically if it's not the victim themselves, I do not permit them, extra people to make a statement. I'm unable to see you, Miss Lovett. You're off to the side. If you could lower the camera. All right. Please raise your right hand. Do you swear and affirm that the testimony you give will be the truth to the best of your knowledge and under the penalty of perjury?
Yes.
All right. I don't want you to make a lot of statements regarding the active restraining order. Is that your mother in the background?
That's her. Yes, she's here.
Good afternoon, Ms. Hutchinson. How are you this afternoon? All right. Would you like to say something to the court today?
She said, would you like to say?
I would just like to say, I would like for him to leave my house.
Hold on 1 second, Ms. Hutchinson. Please raise your right hand. Do you swear that the testimony you give today will be the truth to the best of your knowledge and under the penalty of perjury?
Yes.
All right. What would you like to tell me, Ms. Hutchinson?
I would just like to tell you that I would like for him to vacate my house.
Okay, I understand. Thank you, Ms. Hutchinson. Ms. Lovett, I believe that your mother's intentions are clear. Was there anything you wish to add very briefly?
No, because she said it all. And I don't know who taught that Mr. Coleman was saying information about him in a high school graduate, and he's not. I don't know if that make a difference. Oh, we froze. Oh my gosh.
Okay, well, I don't for making that statement today, okay? All right. Thank you, I appreciate that.
The original TPO, do you have the letter that was submitted?
I don't, that's not before me today, and I don't want to discuss that part as part of his bond hearing, but I hear your mother's request loud and clear. All right, Ms. Lovett?
All right, thank you.
All right.
Your Honor, may I ask Ms. Lovett 2 quick questions?
No, I think I've got your Miss Hutchinson's request here, Mrs. Segura, okay? And unless, all right, very, very quickly, Mrs. Segura.
Ms. Lovett?
Yes.
How concerned are you that the defendant will show up once he does leave?
I didn't say that again, please.
How concerned are you that the defendant will show up to your residence if he is out on bond?
Not 100% sure.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Mr. Coleman, do you have anything to add?
Nothing other than the fact that at this time that these are just allegations against my client. Again, we will be requesting signature bond in lieu of that or no bond, considering that Mr. Hutchinson is disabled and has no money to post for bond.
All right, thank you. At this time, Mr. Hutchinson is going to receive a $2,000 surety bond. He is to have no further contact with Miss Barbara Hutchinson. He is to absolutely stay away from the address on Creighton Drive. He can return one time with a member of law enforcement only to get any items that may be in possession there. He is to have no weapons, drugs, or alcohol as a condition of the surety bond, and he will be reset to the SAP calendar on July the 26th. Is there anything further from either party?
No, thank you, Honor.
I see you raising your hand, Mr. Hutchinson. The best thing for you to do is speak to Mr. Coleman following this hearing, okay? I don't want you to inadvertently say something that may affect the ability of the public defender's office to represent you, okay? All right.
There's something I must say, Your Honor.
Oh, okay, very quickly, but you understand that the state is on the line and listening, and anything you say can be used against you.
Ms. Hutchinson, I would just advise you, if you're going to speak about anything regarding the protective order, I would advise you not to say anything at this time.
Okay, all right, we good then. We good. Okay, thank you, Mr. Coleman.
Yeah, right, you did give me contact numbers. I will contact those people after court, sir.
Good, all right.
All right, best of luck to you, sir. Who do we have next?
Position 9, Mr. White.
All right, Mr. White, your case is 22 CR 004509C, and what you're charged with criminal trespass with the offense date of July the 12th. Do you understand your constitutional rights?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Mr. Howard.
24 total. Last arrest was May 2021 for entering auto. You got open case in the cab for ag assault. Entering auto in Fulton, 22 SC 180308. Also has history out of Texas. He got criminal trespass NOLO 2020 on Martyr. 2019 FTA for burglary and simple battery. 2019 shoplifting conviction. another 2019 shoplifting arrest. The burglary and simple battery came from a 2019 arrest. 2018 failure to appear, 2018 trespass nolo, 2017 shoplifting conviction.
I think I got it. That's good. Thank you, Mr. Howard. All right, whose case is this for the state?
Your
Ms.
Honor,
Mitchell?
it's mine, but I'm not sure why my video is not working.
All right, Ms. Mitchell, you did appear. We will please continue to work on your video, but we will allow you to speak. Perhaps Ms. Falk can assist if you lose connectivity in its entirely. Go ahead, Ms. Mitchell. We
Okay.
did see you.
Thank you. Your Honor, in this case, the defendant trespassed on MARTA property by entering a secured room at the medical center, MARTA Station, located on 5711 Peachtree Dunwoody Road, Atlanta, Georgia, without authorization. There's a current bond of $1,500 surety, and the state requests that the bond remain the same with a stay away from MARTA and no alcohol, drugs, and weapons. As heard from pretrial, the defendant currently has 2 open cases where both incident locations, one being an entering auto in 2021 and the ag assault in 2020, both occurred on MARTA property. In addition, the defendant does have several criminal trespass convictions. The one criminal trespass conviction in 2021 also occurred at MARTA, and then the criminal trespass in 2019, and another one in 2018. We do have flight risk concerns for the defendant, being that he has 4 failure to appears in his history. So with that being said, we are recommending that the bond remain the same. Thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Kelly?
Yes, Your Honor. Mr. White is 28 years old, and he uses MARTA to go to work back and forth. And he was working near a medical center at MARTA station, and he was using that as a little bit of a shelter at that time. He has been here in Georgia for 4 years, and he has 2 children, 10 and 7 years old, and he has a job here as a temporary services for the last 3 years. He has a GED, and he has a ties to the community. I don't think that he's going to be a flight risk, and we would like to request for signature on bond. If Your Honor is not inclined to give him a signature on bond, we would like to request for $250, the lowest bond possible. Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. White's gonna receive $1,000 surety bond. He is to have no weapons, drugs, or alcohol, and I am gonna issue that he stay away from MARTA at this time, in its entirety. That can be revisited at that SAP calendar on July the 26th. Anything further from either party?
My Honor, thank you.
Nothing further, Your Honor.
All right, Ms. Mitchell, keep working on your camera. Who do we have next?
Position 6, Ing.
Ing. All right, good afternoon, Mr. Ing. Your case number is 22 CR 004507F, in which you're charged with 1 count of battery family violence, misdemeanor, and 1 count of cruelty to children in the 3rd degree, with the offense date of July the 12th. Do you understand your constitutional rights?
Yes, I do.
All right, Mr. Howard.
My file says first arrest.
All right. All right, is this you again, Ms. Mitchell?
Yes, it is.
We still can't see you. All right, Ms. Mitchell, go ahead.
Okay, Your Honor, in this case, the defendant battered his wife, Mrs. Z. Schwan, spelled Zixuan, last name Yu, spelled YU. He battered her by punching her several times in the face, leaving her with swelling and red and purple marks to her face. Mrs. Yu and the defendant have a 1-year-old daughter together, Miss Emma Yu, who was also present on the scene. According to Mrs. Yu, the defendant was trying to leave with the baby. So when she took the baby back from him, the defendant suddenly started punching her multiple times in the face to the point where she thought she was going to pass out. Meanwhile, she was holding the baby when this was happening. When the defendant stopped punching her, Mrs. Yu ran outside and screamed for help. The defendant did admit to officers to pushing and striking Miss Yu at least 1 time in the face. Your Honor, the state is recommending a $3,000 surety bond, a no further contact with Mrs. Yu, a stay away from the incident location 6095 Boylston, spelled Boylston Drive, Sandy Springs, Georgia. A third-party transfer of their child, a one-day anger awareness, and no alcohol, drugs, and weapons. Our victim advocate did have an opportunity to speak to Mrs. Yu, and she stated that she's currently in fear of the defendant and doesn't want any contact with him right now. She also doesn't want to see the defendant get in trouble. She stated this was the first time that he did hit her, but she is still afraid of him, and she stated that he will need a one-time law enforcement escort to retrieve his belongings. She did not want to be on Zoom today. So nothing further, Your Honor.
Sorry, I'm on here.
Okay. Ms. Yu, I'll hear from you shortly. Actually, Ms. Yu, are you able to turn on your camera? I need to be able to see you and identify you. All right. Ms. Yu, do you wish to make a statement at this time?
Okay.
Please raise your right hand. Do you swear and affirm the testimony you give today will be the truth to the best of your knowledge and under the penalty of perjury?
Yes, I do.
All right. What would you like to say to the court at this time?
Well, he did it bad to me and baby yesterday, but it was his first time, and then we're new parents, new baby, first year. He have the stress for bad in New York. He got frustrating and depression. But it's not the excuse to do what they did for yesterday. But also, I don't want he got the trouble. So it was his first time yesterday.
All right, I understand. Thank you, Ms. Yu, for making that statement. Ms. Kim?
Yes, Your Honor, we would like to request for no further violent contact since the parties do want to have a contact, and yet as long as it's not violent, I think that should be sufficient. Your Honor, my client does not oppose to stay away order actually. He has another place that he can go so that she can feel safe in her place. He was born in Florida, and yet he came to Georgia about a year ago because all his family members are here in Georgia. He has a 1-year-old daughter and of course wife, and he has a mother, auntie, and brothers are all here in Georgia. And he's been working for Consolidated Construction for the last 4 years, and he has a master's degree from New York for energy management. He would like to request for a signature on bond because he's qualified, and unsecured judicial relief should be awarded to him, and also not awarded, granted to him. And also we would like to request for no further violent contact, Your Honor. Thank you.
All right, based upon the information before me, the defendant is going to receive a $6,000 signature bond through pretrial services. He is to take the 1-day anger awareness course. And I don't believe there's been sufficient cooling off yet at this time. So for right now, he is to have no further contact at all with Miss Yu. That can be modified at a later date. But for now, I'm ordering a no contact between the two. He can arrange third-party transport of the child, and he can come and do a one-time law enforcement escort to get any items he may have at that Boylston Drive, from which I'm also going to issue the stay away at this time. But again, this can be revisited and modified at a later date once I believe there's been more of an opportunity to cool off. And he is further to have no weapons, drugs, or alcohol as a condition of this signature bond. Is there anything further from either party?
Nothing further, Your Honor.
All right, best of luck to you, sir. Who do we have next?
What was the breakdown of those charges?
$3,000 each charge. All right, who do we have next?
Judge, that was through pretrial?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Position 2, Mr. Donaldson.
All right, good afternoon, Mr. Donaldson. Your case number is 22CR004502G, and what you're charged with one of 2 counts of giving false information to a law enforcement officer, each with the offense date of July the 12th of 2022. Do you understand your constitutional rights?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Mr. Howard.
Last arrest was 2019. Probation violation out of Fayette County. Before that was 2019 Fulton, obstruction, fleeing an officer, 2 counts. Got a theft by taking, NOLO from 2018. A fleeing an officer, obstruction, conviction from 2018. And drug possession from 2017 actually.
Okay.
My notes say he got an open 2 counts of ag assault, 22 SC 180739, and possession of a firearm during the commission. And he has the open case in state court, the fleeing, obstruction, reckless driving. That's it.
Okay, thank you. Mrs. Segura?
This occurred yesterday, July the 12th, 2022, which also survived at the incident location of 3380 Peachtree Road, Northeast Atlanta, in which police got a call about a man who pulled out a gun. At that point, the defendant, once seeing the police officers, decided to grab into his pants, take out a gun from his pants, and then proceed to turn around to go the other way. Also followed the defendant from behind and ordered him to the ground. At that point, they were able to get the defendant detained and locate the firearm that he attempted to dump when he turned around. At that point, the defendant was asked to identify himself for a few times, in which he gave first the false name of Tyler Smith. Tyler spelled Tyler Smith. At the second attempt, the defendant said his name was Davon Steve Smith. Davon, Deivon, Steve Smith, with a birthday of May the 3rd, 2002. At that point, the defendant repeatedly provided that his name and birth date was as said, but once he was arrested and got a fingerprint scan, he got his real name and his date of birth, which is Joshua Donaldson at May 23rd, 1999. Because of this, the state is recommending a surety bond of $2,000, $1,000 for each count, that the condition of no alcohol, drugs, and weapons were out on bond. The state's main concern is that the defendant is at risk of reoffending, in particular, and having multiple actions against police. As Petra has noted, in 2018, he did have a NOLO and guilty conviction of fleeing and attempting to elude a police officer, as well as willful obstruction of a law enforcement officer. In 2018, he had a probation violation for it. So this shows that the defendant is not likely to follow court orders. And also he does have that open 2019 fleeing from police and obstruction to law enforcement, which is 19 CR 007521G. Alongside, it also has that outstanding warrant for felony obstruction of police, which is from April the 22nd, 2021. And this only is on Georgia. In his Florida accounts, he also has a 2020 resisting officers arrest. So because of this, we're asking for a surety bond. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Mr. Coleman?
Your Honor, I'd be requesting a signature bond from Mr. Donaldson. He is a lifetime resident of Atlanta, Fulton County. He is 23 years of age. He is a high school graduate, currently employed as a truck driver, so I would like to preserve his job if possible. He is a father of 1 child aged 8 months. This is a nonviolent offense. Again, at this time, these are only accusations against my client. I would also like to point out that I feel that these charges are duplicative. He's charged with 1 count of giving a false name and then 1 count of giving a false birthday. This all arises from the same incident, Your Honor, same date, same time.
All right, Mr. Coleman, I'm slightly inclined to agree. So what I will do is on count 1, Mr. Donaldson is going to receive a $1,000 surety bond. On count 2, he's going to receive a $1,000 signature bond through the jail for a total of a $2,000 split bond. He is to have no weapons, drugs, or alcohol as a condition of the bond he received. Is there anything further from either the state or the defense?
No.
All right, best of luck to you, sir. Who do we have next?
He has a question, raise your hand.
Very briefly, please don't say anything that will incriminate yourself.
No, ma'am, it's okay.
I'm sorry?
I said, no, ma'am, thank you, it's okay.
Okay, thank you. Please call your attorney with any questions. All right, who do we have next?
Position 8, Stevenson.
All right, good afternoon, Mr. Travis Stevenson. Your case number is 22 CR 004508Y, in which you're charged with one count of simple battery, family violence with the offense date of July the 11th of 2022. Do you understand your constitutional rights as I explained previously? Mr. Stevenson, do you understand? Are they frozen at courtroom 2? I believe courtroom 2 may be frozen. Am I frozen? Is anyone able to hear me?
Yeah.
Screen has closed, Judge, on our end.
I hear you.
Okay, you are froze. All right. Do you understand your constitutional rights, Mr. Stevenson?
Yeah, ma'am.
All right. Did you hear your case number?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Mr. Howard, can I please have his history?
This 10th arrest. Last was 2021 probation violation out of Clayton County. Trespass conviction, 2020. 2015 carrying weapon without a valid license, no low. 2013 probation for a suspended license. That's it.
All right. Ms. Mitchell, good to see you again. You're back with me. What is the state's recommendation at this time?
Our recommendation is a $3,000 signature bond, no further contact with the co-defendant, Chiquila Sanders. Chiquila spelled CHIQUILLA Sanders. Third-party transfer of their child, one-day anger awareness, and no alcohol, drugs, and weapons. We're not issuing a stay away, being that yesterday when the co-defendant appeared before court, they issued a stay away for her. And I believe that's because they both hit each other, but he's the one that sustained injuries. So with that being said, we are and she received a $3,000 signature bond yesterday. So with that being said, we're recommending the same for him. Thank you.
All right, Ms. McLeod, any objection to the 3,000 signature bond?
No, Your Honor, no objection at all.
All right, I would like to hear a little bit about the defendant, though.
Yes, Your Honor, my client is 36 years old. He is the father of 5 children, the 12-year-old son, which he shares with the co-defendant, and he also has 4 younger daughters. He is the primary breadwinner for all of these children, Your Honor. He is gainfully employed, and he is quite concerned about getting back to work. He tells me he has a 10th grade education, but he has been working at the Indigo Hotel for some time, Your Honor. Seems to have stable employment and no history of violence.
All right. And I am going to issue the no contact at this time. He'll receive the $3,000 signature bond through pretrial services at this time. He is to have no alcohol, drugs, or weapons, and again, no contact with the cross defendant. In this case, there's no need for a stay away, I've heard from the incident location. And I am going to order the third-party transfer of the child. They must communicate through a third party to coordinate visitation. All right. Is there anything further?
Your Honor, the AA, are we gonna do that for him or no?
Oh, the anger awareness. Yes, I apologize. I did not say that. And the one-day anger awareness.
Your Honor, my client has very limited funds to pay for this. And just based on what I've heard, he was not the primary aggressor here.
What does anyone know the approximate amount of the anger awareness course?
3. It's a pre-trial bond, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a free course, so I'm expecting him to be able to pay for that, Ms. McLeod. All right. Best of luck to you, sir. Ms. McLeod, does that conclude your business here with
It does, Your Honor.
All right. Take care. Have a great afternoon.
Thank
All right.
you,
Who do we
Your
have next?
Position 1, Beasley.
All right, Mr. Beasley, your case number is 22 CR 004501Y, in which you're charged with 1 count of theft by shoplifting and 2 counts of simple battery with the offense date of June the 16th of 2022. Do you understand the constitutional rights that that's explained to you previously?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you. Mr. Howard?
All right, 22 total. Hold on for a minute. Which one of these chats belong to you that you can see?
This one.
Well, they got the same name.
Okay, let me rename the one that you can actually chat. All right, the one that says judge following it. Okay, understood.
All right, so 22 total. Last arrest was 2021 for stalking, obstruction, trespass. Open case, ag assault, strangulation, and ag stalking. It's 20 CP 194585. On probation for battery DV, 21 CR 003 906Y. Also on probation for obstruction and stalking, 21 CR 001 468Y. And he got that case from early 2000. I put in there for you.
Okay, was that a conviction?
Yes.
Okay. All right, thank you. Mr. Segura?
This occurred back on June the 16th, 2022, which also responded to a theft and assault call at Macy's, which was located in the Lenox Mall at 3393 Peachtree Road, Northeast Atlanta. In this case, they spoke with the victims, who were loss prevention officers, Ms. Tarika Davis, Tarika spelled Terrrica, Davis common spelling, and Ina Stiles, Ina spelled INA, Stiles STYLES, in which they stated that the defendant placed unpaid items into his book bag, which were an Adidas bag and a belt. Once the items were inside his book bag, he proceeded to the exit past all points of sale, and upon approach by the loss prevention officers, Ms. Davis said that she knew what the defendant had done, and at that point, the defendant lied and tried to head to the exit. At that point, Ms. Stiles tried to remove the bag from the defendant's hand, but the defendant decided to grab her by the wrist and squeeze it tightly, demanding the return of the bag. At that point, Ms. Davis ordered the defendant to release Ms. Stiles, but he refused and still continued to grab her. At that point, when Ms. Davis attempted to help Ms. Stiles, the defendant swung his arm back, having his elbow hit Ms. Davis in the chest, which caused her to fall into the ground. At that point, the defendant fled. The state is recommending a $6,000 surety bond, $2,000 for the theft, and $3,000 each for the simple battery charges. We're asking for the conditions of a one-day anger wellness, no alcohol, drugs, and weapons. A stay from Macy's, located at 3393 Peachtree Road, Northeast Atlanta, and no further contact with Ina Stiles and Tarika Davis. Foundations are based on these facts, and we also have major concerns about the risk of the offense. As I'm not sure if Pretrial noted this, but in 2018, he has a theft by shoplifting arrest from Dunwoody, and 2019, he also has a theft by shoplifting arrest in Dunwoody as well. Alongside, we also concerned about the defendant's violent history, that he has a risk of reoffending and he's a danger to the community if he is released on bond. For example, back in August 26, 2020, he was charged with aggravated assault, strangulation, and aggravated stalking, which is an open case 20 CP 194585, in which he had a $50,000 signature bond, $25,000 for each count. But even then, when he was out on bond in less than 2 months, on October 6, 2020, he committed an act of family battery violence in which he was found guilty of 21 CR 003906Y. Alongside, we also have concerns that he is a danger, as he was in prison for 336 days back, which was in February, and he was released in February the 25th, 2022, and yet in less than 5 months, he committed this acts as well. And alongside, we are concerned that the defendant will not follow any court orders if he is out on bond, as based on that charge that was in the chat, in which he had probation of 9 years on. He committed several probation violations for that act, twice in 2012 and 2015, 3 times in 2016, and again in 2017. And because of this, we're asking for a surety bond. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Who represents Mr. Beasley?
Yeah, that would be me, Mr. Coleman. Apparently now my camera isn't working either.
I'm not sure what's going on today.
I don't, every time I'm down here at the office on this computer, there's always an issue.
I agree. My county laptop made me very dark one time, such that it looked like I was disappearing. All right, so what we'll do with Mr. Coleman, you did appear before me once earlier, so I know that it is you. I will allow you to continue without the camera. So
thank you, Honor. I would be requesting a signature bond from Mr. Beasley. I did hear his background. He is a lifetime resident of Atlanta, Fulton County. He is 33 years of age. He went as far as the 12th grade. He states to me that he is presently employed at Wendy's restaurant. He has very limited income, limited resources, therefore he has no money to post for bond. He is the father of 4 children, ages 2, 4, 6, and 8. I will remind the court at this time that these are just allegations against Mr. Beasley. Again, we will be requesting a signature bond.
Mr. Beasley, I see you raising your hand. I strongly caution you not to make any statements and to allow your attorney to represent you today. The state is listening and anything you say can be used against you. Do you have just a basic question, Mr. Beasley?
I want to just let the court know that I'm not on probation and I've never been to prison. As far as the situation with the strangulation situation.
Okay, I don't want you
I
to
wouldn't say anything about that, sir. Don't say
Yeah.
anything about that at this time.
They closed it. They closed the case. From
Well,
my
you can
understanding, that's all I'm saying.
You can test your history. Mr. Howard, can you confirm that that's the correct GCIC?
Yeah, that's all. That's
Yeah,
how.
this is GCIC, but I can't confirm nothing else. So I mean,
Okay. Well, we're going to defer to pretrial in the state at this time. At this time, let's see. Hold on one second. I am going to issue that stay away from Macy's. He must stay away from the entire mall as a condition of this bond. I'm going to sound for Ms. Davis and Ms. Stiles. Are either Ms. Davis or Ms. Stiles on the line and wish to be heard or to make any statement before the court at this time? All right, hearing none. Let me do my math. Hold on. All right. Mr. Beasley is going to receive a $4,500 surety bond. That's going to be $1,500 for each charge. Please check my math. He is to stay away from the mall from its entirety and have no further contact with either Ms. Stiles or Ms. Davis. He is to have no weapons, drugs, or alcohol as a condition of this surety bond. He will be reset to the SAP calendar on July the 26th, at which time this case will be revisited. Is there anything further from either party?
No, Your Honor.
All right, best of luck to you, Mr. Beasley. Who do we have next?
Position 4, Henderson.
Okay, Mr. Henderson, good afternoon. Your case number is 22 CR 004504B, which you're charged with making harassing communications with the offense date of June the 20th of 2022. Do you understand your constitutional rights?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
All right, Mr. Howard.
ready?
Did you say 30 cycles?
No.
Okay.
I see 10 cycles between Georgia and Alabama. He's been in jail since June 29th.
Yeah, I did have that question as well as to why he's been in this long.
Does anyone know if he's been in jail without getting the first
He
appearance?
got the same booking number as June 29th for disorderly conduct. So that's what I was asking. Darryl, I'll let you talk.
Is that correct? Can anyone confirm how long Mr. Henderson's been in jail?
Yeah, I did have that same concern. And speaking to Mr. Henderson, he did tell me that he has been there since June 29th.
Your Honor, the state's intention is to agree to a signature bond. So if Mr. Segura can just put that on the record.
All right, Mrs. Segura, you understand that there are some concerns here, but it is correct that he's been there that long for this charge, Ms. Falk?
That is correct, Your Honor. And again, that is not through any fault of the state, but once we learned that, we are recommending a signature bond.
All right, Mrs. Segura, in light of Ms. Falk's testimony, very briefly give me the facts of this case. We're going to defer to Mr. Howard for the history since he's given us the extensive history here. All right.
This is case in June 20th, 2022, in which the defendant was on a recorded line talking to an inmate in which he threatened to shoot police. And in light of these type of issues, the state is agreeing to a $3,000 signature bond with the conditions of no alcohol, drugs, and weapons while out on bond. Thank you.
All right, any contentions, Mr. Coleman?
No, Your Honor. We would be in agreement with the signature bond.
All right, at this time, in light of the information before me, including the jail time, Mr. Henderson is going to receive a $3,000 signature bond through the jail as discharged with the offense date of June the 20th of 2022. Is there anything further? And he is to have no weapons, drugs, or alcohol as a condition. Is there anything further from either party?
No, Your Honor.
I believe that concludes our entire calendar. Ms. Middlebrooks, will you review it for me, please?
Yes, Your Honor.
Hey, what happened with Moose?
1 second, I can let you know what happened with those cases.
A bond out on that one.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Moose bonded out as well as Brooks.
Okay.
There were 4 others that were on the pool sheet. They were all upgraded to felony.
Position number 1 is a $4,500 good bond, reset SAP July 26th. Position number 2 is a $2,000 split bond, reset SAP July 26th. Position number 3 is a $5,000 good bond, reset SAP July 26th. Position number 4 is a $3,000 sign-on bond through the jail, reset further notice. Position number 5 is a $2,000 good bond, reset SAP July 26th. Position number 6 is a $6,000 sign-on bond through pretrial, reset further notice. Position number 7 is a $5,000 sign-on bond through the jail, reset further notice. Position number 8 is a $3,000 sign-on bond through pretrial, reset further notice. Position number 9 is a $1,000 good bond, reset SAP July 26th.
Okay, now my camera is not working. Very,
We done. So
very strange. Any comments, changes, corrections, or questions from any party?
No.
Here we are. All right, hearing none, we will be in recess until tomorrow, July the 14th, at which time Judge Law will be presiding. Everyone take care. Have a great afternoon.
we'll see you
Thank
Friday,
you.
right?
You
Bye.
too.
You will see me Friday. I will be here